Hello, my name is Samantha Pena. I'm a paranormal investigator for PPRS. Recently, PPRS conducted an investigation at the Rock House in Peebly, Missouri on September 8th, 2010. The history behind the Rock House is there was a man and a woman who lived in the house. The husband was a psychiatrist, he had a deed, and he was also a Confederate soldier. And he owned slaves, and basically when his slaves were down in the basement, they would make bullets for the master, and there was a tunnel in there where the soldiers would go in and out of the tunnels to come and get the bullets and take them to the Confederate Army. And on top of that, his wife, while he was doing his soldier work with his slaves, his wife was, she was going through psychological issues. She was kind of going crazy, and she was hearing voices and creaking sounds, and eventually the voices in her head got so bad that one day she went and she killed herself in the top bedroom of the house. And one was she hung herself, and another thing was she had slit her wrists, and there was blood on the floor. And when the husband found and discovered it, he cleaned up the blood on the floor, and there was not that much blood, so he cleaned it up, and apparently some blood, they say, has seeped into the floorboards. And after that incident, a couple years, the house was bought and it was renovated, and a painter that came into the house was painting the walls in the bedroom, and what he noticed was there was blood, was fresh blood that was starting to come out of the floorboards. This shocked him immensely. And another story was in the 1920s, when the house was bought and resold, it was turned into a halfway house for people who could not afford their own homes and their own lodgings. And one such tenant that lived in the halfway house was a woman and her daughter. Her daughter was very young, and she would always carry around a little teddy bear with her wherever she went. And the mother was, apparently she was a prostitute, and she would prostitute by night, and she would be a mother during the day. The mother would leave her daughter at home, and one day when the daughter was home, there was an epidemic going around in the 1920s of an epidemic of cholera in Missouri at the time. And her daughter came down with cholera, and her daughter was dying, and when the daughter died, it is said she was still holding on tightly to her little teddy bear. And there have been sightings of a little girl laughing and running through the house. As we conducted our investigation, me personally, I started in the basement first, and there is like mud down in the basement. It's like a cement floor, but there's also some mud in there too. And as I was looking around, I looked at a certain patch, and then I went to another part of the room where the bullets were being made, and then I went back to the room where the mud was, and there was an imprint of little tiny girl shoes. You could see the heel and the imprint of the little shoes, like she was standing there looking at a wall. It was just a pair of shoes. There was no trace of her running or anything. It was just the shoe prints that were standing there, which was kind of creepy. And as I was standing in the lower half looking at the shoe prints, I heard what sounded like the machine that makes bullets. When you make bullets in the machine, it's like a sound, and then the bullet pops out. And from that room, you could hear what sounded like people in there doing the machine. As I went in there, there was no one there. And one incident that happened with Past Seekers member Samantha Pena and Olga Kreider, they were on the top of the stairs, and as Jonathan Pena was coming down the stairs, he felt as if someone pushed him, and he plummeted halfway down the stairs. And from his testimony, he was just standing there, then someone went like this to him. And as we went up there, there was kind of, I wouldn't say a presence, but with our little EVPs that catch like radiation and stuff, it was going crazy. Like there was someone standing there at one point. And then as Jonathan went back up the stairs to look at it, it just stopped. And we could hear, while we were downstairs, footprints, running, like someone was running upstairs. And we could get, like, we set up a camera in one of the bedrooms, and it would look like a bright light, like someone just went really fast by the camera. And as we went outside to look around the house, we were snapping pictures of the windows, and there was a white figure, like a woman, standing in the window and wearing an old dress. And as we reviewed the pictures, we could spot one picture on the outside, on the what would be like the right side of the house, thousands of orbs, big and small, red and blue and white orbs everywhere. And it kind of looked like a ghost party in a way. It was really weird looking. And as I was in the basement again, I was snapping pictures, and underneath the staircase there was like a red cloud, like a paranormal red vapor that was down there. And as I examined it closer with the other members of PPRS, it kind of looked like a man's face that was there, like really disturbing looking red face. It kind of spooked me. So with the conclusion of the Peevely house, the rock house, we feel as if something is there, and I would think that further investigation is needed.